Hello my dear students, welcome back to the another session of Social and Political Life 1. Today we are on chapter number 6. The chapter name is Rural Administration. Now, in the last class we saw the Panchayati Raj, how the Gram Panchayat they listen to the villagers, the Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha is the meeting held by the Gram Panchayat in order to resolve the problems of the villagers. So over there we saw that how the Panchayat, the Gram Panchayat has resolved the problems, how they resolve the problems of the villagers. Now in the rural administration, in the rural area, the villages, what is a rural administration? It is mainly to keep the land records. It is functioned by the patwari, means the people who gives the land in lease. Okay, so it is mainly for that department. There are many departments, like if you want to open a shop in your area, in your local area, then what you need a license. Okay, you need a license. Then there are many ways, many laws which you have to follow. Same, the rural administrations here is a main function is of the patwari. For the patwari, what they do, they have to keep the records of the land, and they have to distribute the land in such a way that each and every villagers they have the equal rights on their land. Okay, now let us begin the chapter. A quarrel in the village. So there is a quarrel in the village. These two people are quarreling. For what they are quarreling, we don't know. So after reading this, we will come to know. Mohan is a farmer. His family owns a small agricultural field, which they have been farming for many years. Next to his field is Raghu's land, which is separated from his by a small boundary called a bund. So Mohan, he is a farmer and he owns a small agricultural field. Then next to his field, there is Raghu's land, which is separated by a bund. Okay, or by a river, you can say small river. Now, one morning Mohan noticed that Raghu had shifted the bund by a few feet. By doing so, he had managed to take over some of Mohan's land and increase the size of his own field. So bund, it actually doesn't mean river, but it is a division between the lands. Okay, for example, if on the right hand side it is Mohan's land, then on the left hand side it is Raghu's land. Then what Raghu did, he has taken some of the portion of the land of Mohan and increased the size of his land. Okay, he has increased the size of his land. Mohan was angry but also a little frightened. Raghu's family owned many fields, and besides his uncle was also the sarpanch of the village. But even so, he plucked up courage and went to Raghu's house. A heated argument followed. Raghu refused to accept that he had moved the bund. He called one of his helpers, and they began shouting at Mohan and beating him up. The neighbors heard the commotions and rushed to the spot where Mohan was being beaten up. They took him away. He was badly hurt on his head and hand. He was given first aid by one of his neighbors. His friend, who also ran the village post office, suggested that they go to the local police station and file a report. Others were doubtful if this was a good idea because they felt they would waste a lot of money and nothing would come out of it. Some people said that Raghu's family would have already connected the police station. So when Mohan saw that Raghu has taken some parts of Mohan's land, what he did, he went to Raghu's house. Instead, after knowing that Raghu, he belonged from a Sarpanch family, then also he plucked courage and then he went to Raghu's house. Then the quarrel started between Raghu and Mohan. Then what did Raghu did? He called his man, and then Mohan was beaten up by Raghu's man. Then when the villagers came to know about this, some of them suggested that he should go to the police station and then he can file and discuss this with the police. And some said that maybe Raghu's family, they might have already gone to the police stations and have told the police everything about today's incident. After much discussion, it was decided that Mohan would go to the police station along with some of the neighbors who had seen the incident. Area of the police station, so which is the first administrative work, it was done by the police, the local police of that area. On the way to the police station, one of the neighbor asked, "Why don't we spend some more money and go to the main police station in the town?" "It is not a question of money. We can register the case only in this police station because our village comes in this area of work," explained Mohan. So, if you stay in any of the area, so you have to go to the nearby police station only. If you stay in, for example, in one of the district in Maharashtra, like Thane, okay. And I will talk about area like if you are staying in Kaler, and if you go to the police station in town like in the main town of Thane. So the police, they will tell you that first you have to go to your nearby police station, your area, your local police station. Then only from there the case will be handed over to us. So everything has a administrative. Everything should work in a proper way. So that's why Rohani explained that this police station, it comes in our area. So we have to go first in this police station only. Every police station has an area that comes under its control. All persons in that area can report cases or inform the police about any theft, accident, injury, fight, etc. It is the responsibility of the police of that station to inquire, to investigate and take action on the cases within its area. Now, the work at the police station. When they reached the police station, Mohan went to the person in charge and told him what had happened. He also said that he wanted to give the complaint in writing. The SHO, the station house officer, rudely brushed him aside, saying that he couldn't be bothered to waste his time writing down minor complaints and then investigating them. Mohan showed him his injuries, but the SHO did not believe him. Mohan was puzzled and did not know what to do. He was not sure why his complaint was not being recorded. He went and called his neighbors into the office. They argued strongly that Mohan had been beaten up in front of them, and had they not rescued him, he would have been injured very seriously. They insisted that the case be registered. Finally, the officer agreed. He asked Mohan to write down his complaint and also told the people that he would send a constable the next day to investigate the incident. Maintenance of land records. Now, who maintains the land records? Now, from the police, the investigate will go to the landowner. You saw that Mohan and Raghu were arguing heatedly whether the common boundary of their fields had been shifted. Isn't there a way by which they could have settled this dispute in a peaceful manner? Are there records that show who owns what land in the village? Let's find out how this is done. Measuring land and keeping land record is the main work of the patwari. The patwari is known by different names in different states. In some villages, such officers are called lekpal. In others, kanugo or karamchari or village officer, etc. We will refer to this officer as patwari. Each patwari is responsible for a group of villages. The patwari maintains and updates the records of the village. So, who keeps the records of the land in the village? It is done by the patwari. And patwari in many different different states, it has a different name. The map and the corresponding details from the register on the next page are a small part of the records kept by the patwari. The patwari usually has ways of measuring agricultural field. In some places, a long chain is used. In the above instance, the patwari would have measured both Mohan's and Raghu's fields and compared them with the measurements on the map. If they did not match, then it would be clear that the boundary of the fields has been changed. The patwari is also responsible for organizing the collection of land revenue from the farmers and providing information to the government about the crops grown in this area. This is done from the records that are kept, and this is why it's important for the patwari to regularly update this. Farmers may change the crops grow on their fields, or someone may dig a well somewhere. And keeping track of all this is the work of the revenue department of the government. Senior people in the department supervise the patwari's work. Now, who supervises the patwari work? It is done by the revenue department. All states in India are divided into districts. For managing matters relating to land, these districts are further subdivided. These subdivisions of a district are known by different names such as tehsil, taluka, etc. At the head is the district collector, and under her are the revenue officers, also known as tehsildars. They have to hear disputes. They also supervise the work of the patwaris and ensure that records are properly kept and land revenue is collected. They make sure that the farmers can easily obtain a copy of the record. Students can obtain their caste certificates, etc. The tehsildars officer is where land disputes are also heard. So see, each and every area has a local police station. Then there is also other departments. How does the administration works? The administration works under different departments. The land revenue is collected by the patwari. Whatever disputes are taken place in the land, he should have proper record of the land, like from the measuring of the land, then the collection of the land, land revenue. Everything has to be maintained by the patwari. And who looks after the patwari's work? It is looked by the revenue department. He supervises the patwari's work, and the revenue department is further supervised by the district collector. Okay, so there are levels of administrations, and if there is no administration, the area will not work properly. We will see quarrels in between the people. We will see that there are lots of disputes regarding the land, regarding the water and everything, etc. Now, farmers often require a copy of their land's record together with a map, as shown in the previous illustration. They have a right to the information. They may have to pay a small fee for this. However, this information is not easily made available, and farmers sometimes have to face many problems to get it. In some states, records are now being computerized and also kept at the panchayat office so that they are more easily available and regularly updated. When do you think farmers may require a copy of this record? Study the following situations and identify the cases in which these records would be necessary and why. A farmer wants to buy a plot of land from another. A farmer wants to sell her produce to another. A farmer wants a loan from the bank to dig a well in her land. A farmer wants to purchase fertilizers for his field. A farmer wants to divide his property among his children. For all these purposes, the farmer he required a copy of the record of this land. There should be a proper document with the farmers. Now, a daughter's wish. Father inherited our houses from his father, and everyone says he will leave it to brother. But what about me and my mother? To expect a share in my father's home. It's not very womanly, I am told, but I really want a place of my own. Now, dowry of silk and gold. So this is a daughter's wish. She and her mother also, she wants a land, a property of her father. So this is her wish. Now, a new law. Often when we think of farmers who own land, we think of man. Women are seen as people who work on the fields, but not as people who own agricultural land. Till recently in some states, Hindu women did not get a share in the family's agricultural land. After the death of the father, his property was divided equally only among his son. This is discriminating between gender, between boy and girl. That's why in the previous page we saw a daughter's wish. When a father dies, his property gets divided among his sons, not with the daughters. And the woman, we can see the woman working in the fields, but we can't see a woman owning a agricultural field. We can't see them owning a land. So this is very unfair for the woman. Recently the law was changed. Now a new law has formed. In the new law, sons, daughters and their mothers can get an equal share in the land. Whatever property is owned by the father, he can divide his property among his daughter, his wife and his son. The same law will apply to all states and union territories of the country. Now, this law is not meant for only the rural people. It is also meant for the people who stays in towns or cities, who stays in the union territories or who stay or in the states. It is not only for the rural people. This law will benefit a large number of women. For example, Sudha is the eldest daughter of an agricultural family. She is married and lives in a neighboring village. After her father's death, Sudha often comes to help her mother with the farming work. Her mother has asked the patwari to transfer the land and enter her name along with the names of all the children in his record. Sudha's mother confidently organizes the farming with the help of the younger brother and sister. Similarly, Sudha also lives with the assurance that if she ever has a problem, she can always depend upon her share on the land. Now, this is the end of the chapter. So everybody, I hope so you have understood the chapter. Next time we will meet with a new topic. Till then, take care everybody and thank you.